Suzanne, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for taking my call. I really appreciate it and all that you
You're
do.
you're very, very welcome. Tell me how I can help you.
So this is about forgiveness. Um, my husband divorced me in August of 2017, or excuse me, in May of 2017, and he was having an affair with my best friend of
Oh,
34 years, and he married her
oh,
that September. Yeah.
your best
And
friend?
yes. And we were
Ouch.
part of a church, and they were elders, and I mean it's really quite something.
Ouch.
And so anyway, I've gone through a lot of counseling, and I'm in divorce recovery, divorce care, because I wasn't sure if I have dealt with anger, and I have.
You
I
haven't you
realized I
haven't been
have.
angry? You haven't felt angry about
Oh,
this?
I was, but I wasn't sure if I was angry enough. I mean, enough to get through all the grief. so,
I'm
anyway,
mad
it's
as hell and
crazy.
I don't know if I'm mad enough. Right?
That's exactly it.
That's
But
really
what
funny.
I've come
I
to
don't know if
realize.
I've been angry enough because enough, there's some psychological truth to that, right? Because anger really is part of kind of metabolizing stuff and working it through. It just struck me as kind of funny. Okay, so what's the
Yeah.
question?
So the question is that what I've discovered through divorce recovery is I haven't I haven't dealt with forgiveness. I've dealt with forgiveness with my husband about my ex-husband, but I haven't dealt with the forgiveness of my best friend, and I don't know
Is
how to
she
go
is
about
she
it.
asking is she asking for it?
No. As a matter of fact, she doesn't want to have anything to do with me, and I don't really want to have anything to do with either one of them. It has nothing to do with bitterness. It's just being safe, like
Yeah,
you
I'm
were
just
saying
curious.
in your.
I'm just curious what kind of interface there was between the two of you. So what's the question about
Mhm.
forgiveness?
So how do I go about forgiving her? I've dealt with forgiving him, but how do I go about forgiving her? Because when I think about it, it
Really?
brings me to tears. And I also know that if I were to see them together, I mean, I'd be fine with him, but I don't know that I would be fine with her. Let's say one of my sons was getting married. I don't know that I could deal with it. And I need to be an adult about this. So I'm just trying to figure out. I don't want to worry about tomorrow, but I know just waiting and time is not going to
Well,
help it. I need to deal with it.
yeah, yeah. When you say um, you start to think about it, it brings up a lot of feelings, right?
Yes, right.
I I think that, well, first of all, it's perfectly normal. And I think that you've got to, in a way, they are very, very connected, but in a way, they're very, very distinct as well. The process of forgiveness and the process of metabolizing the hurt and the wound. I mean, look at it this way. If somebody walked up to me and stabbed me, and then um, however, whenever I forgave them, right? And let's say that I could get
Hmm.
to a place for whatever reason, the dynamics were such that I could forgive them, you know, let's pretend quickly. And and so I've forgiven them, meaning I'm not holding grudges. I've canceled the debt. I'm letting you off the hook. God bless you. I'm wanting the best for you. But that doesn't mean that the stab wound is well. It doesn't mean that it's healed yet. And so I wouldn't necessarily tether whether or not you're having feelings about this to whether or not you've successfully forgiven her. You follow me?
Hmm. Yes.
And so right now they are tethered because you think of the forgiveness thing, and it just brings up the whole topic. So I think you would probably do well to look at this like you got two divorces, not one. I mean, to lose a best friend of 34 years out of any kind of breach in the relationship would be awful, and that would have to require its own grief process and going through that. But to lose a best friend of 34 years because she stole your husband and married him, that's like, that's not a small wound.
Right.
So I
Right.
would just want you to get with some really good people and just talk about how that feels and what it's like and the anger and the hurt and the betrayal and everything that goes with it. And you just got to process all of that. And then you can forgive her as a uh, forgiveness in some way is kind of like a position. It's a place we stand. It's like I'm no longer standing above you, judging you. I'm going to pronounce you off the hook. I'm not holding this against you. I'm forgiving you, just like Jesus did when they were crucifying him. He said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." The Bible talks about how we can't be forgiven if we don't forgive others. You understand how important forgiveness is, but forgiveness doesn't mean that you're done hurting over this. So that's
Mm.
probably the go into the hurt and go into all of that, and you can forgive her, but it's not going to feel like you've forgiven her for a while because you still be mad.
Right. Right.
So that's kind of how I would look at it.
Okay. Okay. I'll do that. I'll do that. Okay.
Does that
Will it
work?
will it lessen? Do you think it will lessen? The uh, feelings that come up when I think about it.
What do I think? What would lessen?
I mean, as I work through it and talk to people and deal with it, that the feelings, the emotions, will lessen with time.
Oh yeah, yeah. You'll get over this if you process it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
people
Good.
get over
Good.
betrayal. People get over all sorts of things, but not without processing it. So I do think you need to process
Okay. I will.
it.
Okay. Great.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right. Suzanne, I can't think of too many things worse in the betrayal world. I mean, that's a big one. And my heart goes out to you. And I hope you found
Thank
some
you.
I hope you found some friends that treat you better than that.
I do. I've got some great friends, wonderful
Good.
friends, safe friends.
Okay. All right. God bless you.